Jefferson County Code at Law number 2 is back in session from the morning docket. And continuing with our special review docket. The court is in session in cause number 331190. And the case is styled the state of Texas versus John M. Ryan. Mr. Ryan, is that your full name?
Yes, sir. John Marty Ryan.
Yeah. Mr. Ryan, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Ryan, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Ryan, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Ryan?
Pretty good.
That's good. Mr. Ryan, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Todd LeBlanc. Mr. LeBlanc, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for asking, Judge.
Mr. Ryan, I have before me an information that alleges that on or about October 27 of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of resisting arrest, search, transportation. Mr.
No, I'm sorry. What?
The offense is resisting arrest, search, transportation. Mr. Ryan, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Ryan, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
And that is for, sir, for resisting arrest?
Yes.
Yes.
No contest, sir.
Okay, you pleading no contest?
Yes, sir.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Both of them, sir.
Okay. Mr. Ryan, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. On page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials, J.R., on a line which is next to a box that is checked nolla contendere, which means no contest.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ryan, did you place your initials J.R. on this document?
Yes, sir.
On the next page of the same document, Mr. Ryan, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Ryan, did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
Mr. Ryan, I have another document before me. This document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. At the bottom of this document, above the line that is titled Defendant, there is a signature. Mr. Ryan, did you place your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this same document, there are two boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Mr. Ryan, do you understand that you do not, that this is a plea bargain case and you do not have a right of appeal?
Yes, sir, I understand.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
Mr. Ryan, did you sign a document out there on paper that is titled Discovery Certification?
Yes, sir, I did. Yes, sir.
And Mr. Ryan, before you signed each one of these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. LeBlanc, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir, he did. Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yeah, sure do. Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ryan, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me States Exhibits 1 and 2. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
We have no objections, Your Honor.
No objection. States Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. LeBlanc, I have before me an assessment that was conducted on your client, Mr. John Ryan. Did you get a copy?
Yes, Judge, I have.
State, did you get a copy?
Yes, we.
And Mr. LeBlanc, do you have any objections to the finding, inclusions, and recommendations in this assessment?
I don't, Your Honor.
State, do you have any objections to the finding, inclusions, and recommendations in this assessment?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. The court is going to take judicial notice of the finding, recommendations, and conclusions in the assessment. And the court finds that the defendant is not charged with an offense that is considered violent pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure 17.032A. And the court also finds and determines that there is a community-based services that are appropriate and available to the defendant. Now, Mr. LeBlanc, you advised and counseled Mr. Ryan. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Judge, none that I'm aware of. I've spoken to him and I agree with the report that was filed. But as far as being competent to stand trial, no, I don't see any issues
Okay,
causing him to be incompetent.
okay. Now, Mr. Ryan, your attorney, Mr. LeBlanc has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes, sir, I sure am.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal services?
Yeah, yes, sir, he has.
Mr. Ryan, I will accept your plea of no contest.
Mhm.
I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
15 days time served for the simplest action retired.
Okay, Mr. Ryan, the state is offering that you serve 15 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you would not have to serve any more time in jail on this case because you have already served 15 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you will be given credit for time served. The court cost in this case, Mr. Ryan, is $327, but you will not have to pay the $327 because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid it off.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, the court cost will be taxed and retired. Mr. Ryan, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir, I sure do. Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir, I do.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir, I do.
Mr. Ryan, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Ryan, this will conclude your case. You're free to go and you have a blessed day, and please follow the bailiff.
Yes, sir, and y'all have a blessed day too.
Okay, and Mr. LeBlanc, you're free to go and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and this will conclude the calling of the court's special review docket on March 24th, 2022. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2. Judge Terrence Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have